Ladies and gentlemen, imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, dated 1956, with a tiny letter, D, beneath the date, and realizing that this ordinary-looking Lincoln cent once passed through the heart of Cold War America, jingled in the pockets of factory workers, soldiers, and schoolchildren, and silently witnessed one of the most intense decades in modern history. The 1956 D1 cent is not just money, it is a frozen moment from an era when America was racing against time, fear, and ambition. It represents a nation balancing prosperity and anxiety, where every coin carried the weight of history, progress, and power. Collectors today don't just see copper, they see Denver Mint machinery roaring day and night, striking millions of cents to fuel a booming economy, while the world outside was reshaping itself in dramatic ways. This single cent, humble and unassuming, is a survivor of one of the most defining periods of the 20th century, and once you understand its story, you never look at it the same way again. Now let's go deep into the full story of the 1956 D Lincoln Wheat cent. This coin was minted in 1956 at the Denver Mint, which is why it carries the D mint mark below the date. At that time, the United States was in the middle of the Eisenhower era, a period marked by rapid industrial growth, the rise of suburbia, and intense Cold War tension with the Soviet Union. The Denver Mint played a critical role in supplying coinage for the western and central United States, and in 1956 it struck an enormous number of 1-cent coins to meet the demands of a fast-growing population and economy. The composition of the 1956 D cent is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown tone collectors love. This was before the era of copper-plated zinc cents, making these coins heavier, more solid, and more historically authentic in the eyes of numismatists. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1956, this portrait had already become deeply embedded in American identity. Lincoln's calm yet powerful expression symbolized unity, strength, and moral leadership, values America wanted to project during the Cold War. On the reverse, the coin displays the famous wheat ears design, also by Brenner, with the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, framed by 2 wheat stalks. This design symbolized agricultural strength and national prosperity, reminding Americans of their roots and resilience during times of global uncertainty. From a mintage perspective, the 1956 D Lincoln cent was produced in staggering numbers. Over 1.098 billion coins were struck at the Denver Mint alone. This massive output explains why the coin is relatively common today in circulated condition. However, common does not mean unimportant. These coins circulated heavily, passing through countless hands, cash registers, vending machines, and pay envelopes. Each scratch and worn edge tells a story of daily American life in the 1950s. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is a different matter entirely, and this is where collector excitement truly begins. In lower circulated grades, the 1956 D cent is generally valued modestly, often just a few cents above face value. But as condition improves, especially in mint state, the value begins to rise sharply. Red examples with full original luster, classified as MS65 red or higher, are far more scarce than people realize. These coins were usually saved straight from rolls or mint bags, escaping the harsh realities of circulation. High-grade examples can fetch significant prices at auction, especially when they display sharp strikes, clean surfaces, and strong eye appeal. The difference between a brown, worn cent and a blazing red mint state coin can be the difference between pocket change and a serious collector's prize. What truly excites advanced collectors are errors and varieties associated with the 1956 D cent. While no major double-die varieties like the famous 1955 exist for this year, minor repunched mint marks, die cracks, die chips, and off-center strikes do exist and can command premium prices. A clean, well-documented error coin can be worth many times more than a normal example, depending on severity and condition. These errors are physical evidence of the intense pressure and speed at which the Denver Mint was operating during that year, pushing machinery to its limits to keep up with demand. Historically, the 1956 D cent is a bridge coin between eras. It comes just 2 years before the final wheat cent was struck in 1958, making it part of the closing chapter of one of America's most beloved coin designs. Soon after, the Lincoln Memorial reverse would replace the wheat ears, marking a new visual identity for U.S. coinage. Owning a 1956 D cent is like owning a page from the final volume of a long, proud story that began in 1909. It carries nostalgia, history, and craftsmanship that modern coins simply cannot replicate. Emotionally and culturally, this coin reflects optimism mixed with tension. In 1956, America was confident but cautious. Television was entering homes, highways were expanding, and consumer culture was booming, yet the shadow of nuclear conflict loomed large. This cent bought candy bars, newspapers, and bus rides, quietly participating in everyday life while the world stood on the edge of monumental change. That contrast is what gives the 1956 D cent its deeper appeal. It is ordinary, yet born in extraordinary times. For collectors, historians, and even casual enthusiasts, the 1956 D1 cent is far more than a simple copper coin. It is a tangible link to mid-century America, a witness to history, and a reminder that even the smallest denomination can carry immense meaning. When you hold it, you are not just holding 1 cent, you are holding the weight of an era, the echo of millions of lives, and the silent testimony of a nation in motion. If you enjoy discovering the real stories behind rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments.